All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Newton. I'm a computer engineering student at Jackson University, and this is our project called Black Symphony. It's essentially a mobile app that. Uh, wait, what is going on? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So yeah, uh, it's a mobile app that's basically a top-down action RPG game that here you can select different modes where it's arcade mode. We eventually want to implement a story mode. Story mode is currently not available. Also, we want to add settings for like controlling the game difficulty as well as adding the credit scenes. So if I go into arcade mode, you have two different options, which are single player and multiplayer. Currently, single player is mostly finished. So like where you can select which sprite you want. So this one I'll select like the ice sprite, and these sprites are actually designed from scratch. I drew on my iPad and was able to actually import them into the game. So on the top screen, I'll select ice. On the bottom screen, I'll select dark. And you see how the sprites are actually loaded into the game environment. I created this level as well. And also, I outlined the actual obstacles in the game, but I'm still debugging making the game, so I didn't implement the obstacles just yet. So you can see the players can move around the entire map, but eventually in the finalized game, the obstacles will be removed, as well as the dragon character. If I go over if the player sprite overlaps with the dragon sprite, it's supposed to remove the health bar, but there's still a few bugs in that case. But that's something that how we're also working through, as well as you can see different sprites in the environment in terms of the health bar. I designed these sprites as well from scratch. The stamina bar, when the player dashes or does any type of attack, the stamina bar should decrease and increase. It will eventually increase back to 100% over time. So that way it gives a little bit of extra game dynamics in terms of the player kind of like the player running out of breath. There's also like a shield. This will be disabled by default, but if the player picks up different objects in the environment, the shield will enable, as well as there's a special attack meter where the player can do different really cool special attacks. That logic is still to be implemented. There's also a rage meter, the how let's say you're in multiplayer or even in story mode. Um, if the player is attacked too many times from different opponents in the environment, and it's kind of like an unfair fight, you can kind of have this rage meter fill, and then for a short period of time, if they press on the fire for the rage meter, the player will uh, kind of do double damage and have like automatic increase in speed. And also, there's a timer for like special events. So, like, let's say how there's a certain event where the player will gain um, I guess like other abilities, the timer meter will last for a short period of time, and then also the boss's health bar. This won't be always on by default, but if since we're in the arcade mode, one of the arcade environments, it will be a boss fight. So in this case, the boss has like three different health bars, and in multiplayer, what would happen is that how we would have this boss that can actually chase the player down, and if they're whichever player is the closest, the boss will chase that player, and it'll just be a matter of a collective effort to reduce the boss's health bar, um, as well as we would also want other modes where it's team battles as well as a free for all. So here we also have the pause menu. So here you can actually like resume the game, or you can go back to the main menu. So I'm actually going to go back to the main menu for both of these. And then if I go to arcade mode and I go to multiplayer this time, you can either host a room or join a room for other users. And currently, I'm experiencing a few bugs with setting up multiplayer. But if I host a room on the top device, it doesn't show any players in the room, including the host doesn't get added to the room visually here. But if I go to my terminal, it shows actual room code that I can actually type in for another player to actually join. So if I do FB05XQ and click join a room, and I wait just a few minutes, not a few minutes, but a few seconds. You see here, they actually shows the original host is defaulted to a fire mage, and then they have the new device where I haven't chosen a mage as yet. And if I don't choose a mage, then it just randomizes which mage I can actually select. And then if I click start game, the host is kind of left in the dark, but the guests can actually start a game and then join a map. So here it gave me a dark mage. Again, these animations, I drew all of them from scratch for each one of the directions. It was a pretty arduous task, but pretty fun as well. Like I actually start to like sprite creation, but again, the host isn't in this room just as yet. I'm having trouble with rendering all the players on the map. So like, even if I had like a third device and then I were to click join, um, each one of those players is kind of placed into their own room, well, their own map rather than being on the same map. So that's something that I kind of want to debug. But this was a pretty fun process, and I really like the process of game development. And I look forward to finishing this project and actually publishing it to the App Store. I'd really like to work with like other passionate game developers in developing really cool games. So yeah, Level Arcadia is just kind of like the name of our team in terms of game development. Thank you for your time.